Okay, the question of the day. What is the difference between the hive mind of a Christian or religious cult? Let's just say all religions. All religions are cults, people. They are derivatives of culture, and they pertain to beliefs and dogma. And they, by their inherent nature, pertain to a hive mind in relation to the said dogma. And so the question is then, what's the difference between one of these religious cults and, let's say, the idea of the Borg hive mind? The Borg being alien entities which traverse the universe, and when they come upon other intelligent life forms, then they want to assimilate them into their hive mind. I would suggest that there is no difference other than the idea of what it is to be a member of the Borg hive mind. You say, let's just say for instance, with Christianity, you know, it's like, you know, Jesus is welcoming everybody that believes in him. So the prerequisite is, and this of course is only attributed to the Apostle Paul, because without the Apostle Paul, who wrote Romans in the New Testament, then there would be no Christianity. Paul is Christianity, was Christianity. He was the one, the only one that said, if you believe, then that's all you need as a prerequisite to enter into the kingdom of God. In relation to the Old Testament, goodness me, the trials and tribulations one had to pass through, the loops one had to jump through, the traumatizing tests that the God of the Old Testament would put his subjects to, just to mention Abraham having to sacrifice his son Isaac, and the atrocities that Yahweh, Jehovah, blessed Job with. I say blessed because that's the interpretation. Well, you have God's grace. You're still alive, aren't you, bitch? Yeah, sure, you've got boils and I killed all your family and all your livestock, but you're still alive, aren't you, bitch? You know, I could do much worse if I wanted to, so there's something you should be grateful for the Lord for. Yes, goodness me, we've got all that stuff to contend with. And the prerequisites of getting into the kingdom of God via Jesus is that we have to turn the other cheek, and we have to love everyone, and we love our neighbours, you know, the same as we do our children's, and we love our enemies the same as we do our children's. You know, we are given these such absurd impositions to overcome. We've got to overcome the impossible. Love your enemy as you love yourself. Really? How does that work? Because if that was a thing, then there would be no enemies. So it's like a silly paradoxical thing in itself, isn't it? If you're going to love your enemies, then they can't be your enemies, period. So there are no enemies. So what are you saying, Jesus? There are no enemies. It's all in your mind. Yeah, well, I'll, you know, I'm an adherent of that. It is all in your mind. Everything's in your mind. So, if you put yourself in the hive mind of the Borg, then you've got your hive mind, which when you have been assimilated into it, you think it's all great. If you were a Muslim, you'd think that was all great. A Christian, you'd think that was all great. If you were an Orthodox Jew, you'd think that was all great. If you were a Hindu, you think that was all great. If you were a Jain, you think that was all great. If you were a Sikh, you think that was all great. So look, all I'm saying, people, is look, anyone that thinks my God is my God and my God's the biggest God and it's the best God. And it's like when we was, arguing with people at school when we're 10 years old, my dad's harder than your dad. Oh yeah, you think your dad's hard? Well, I'm going to tell my dad and my dad's going to come round and do your dad and all that. Come on, people, it's pathetic, isn't it? It really is pathetic. So when we look at the assimilation of drones into a hive mind, well, it's much of a muchness, isn't it? Once you're in, you're fucking in, and it's great, according to the dogma. So Christians who hate Muslims and Muslims who hate Christians, of course, they've always hated each other. Well, they are both in hive mind states and they will kill you, bitches, if you utter a word against each other. And so look at what's going on. And these are supposed to be beautiful, loving, kind, beneficial religions to the human being who's a beautiful creature, a creature of God. Really, they make me sick to my core, to be honest. They make me sick to my core. And so I make videos like the Borgs come to get you bitches, to give you an illustration that your mind is the virus. Your mind is going to get you. It's your mind that's going to assimilate you into one of these cults. And I was listening to some fucking idiots in the gym only yesterday. And oh goodness me, what they didn't know about fucking football. Every single one of them a manager. You would have thought they'd all be millionaires by now, driving around in Rolls Royces, because they are actual fucking managers of like, huge football teams. Oh yeah, fucking number 3, he should pass to number 2 a little bit more. Number 4, he sometimes gets a bit greedy with the ball. And oh, the goalie, oh well, he should put some sticky stuff on his gloves, because like sometimes his gloves, it's like he's got butter on his gloves, you know. Oh, fucking hell. On and on and on these cunts went. How insufferable. How insufferable. You know, these fuckers, they just desperately want to think that they know something. And so what do? They listen to these football commentators, the fuck they're called, and they're eagerly absorbing all that, just like any other cult member. It's the cult, people. Just like people reading the Bible or the Quran, absorbing it all and then parroting it back to much to everyone's fucking annoyance. So, when we look at the world, everything, people, is absorbed into some sort of a hive mind. Now, let me just give you an instantiation. Let me wake you up. Let me open your consciousness, yeah? Come on, that's what the Awakened Brave's here for. Now, there are videos you can watch on YouTube where scientists have studied varieties of ant, and they've studied these colonies long and hard, and they noticed that these colonies have the propensity to want to infiltrate colonies of their own species. And why they want to do this is because they want to increase the hive mind, just like the Borg. Now, just like religions, are you hearing me on this, people? It's so pervasive, it's human nature. Don't talk to me about Jesus, Allah, fucking Krishna, or fucking Ganesh, or anyone. Just don't talk to me about them. Just continue with your little stories if that makes you happy. But what these ant colonies do, they send out scouts, which obviously are in contact with great intelligence, because these scouts are endowed with the ability to be able to quantify the mass of any other colony. And the reason why this is so important is because the colony needs to be smaller than the one that's going to be conquering it to pull it into its hive mind. Now, if the colony that wants to do this is smaller than the colony that it's going to be trying to do this on, well, the numbers are that the bigger the colony, the more protectors that they have, the bigger the armies, you see. And so a smaller colony is going to have a smaller army, and a bigger colony is going to have a bigger army. And so if the smaller colony tries to conquer the bigger colony, then it's going to fail. Why? Because it's not about prowess, it's just about numbers. They're all exactly the same, these automaton, and they're going to protect and you know, these soldier ants. And so if a small army tries to kill a big army, then it's going to end in tears. And so this colony needs to be absolutely sure that the colony is going to pull into its hive mind has to be smaller. And how it does this is by sending its larger army to kill the smaller army. Now, there'll probably be equal casualties on both sides, but it stands to reason the one with more soldiers at the end of the battle is going to have more soldiers left, or it's going to have some left. And then what the rest of the hive, the colony does, it goes into the vanquished colony, and it kidnaps the queen, and it steals the larvae and takes these back to the bigger colony. And then all of the automaton hive mind creatures, they follow the queen and the larvae back. Right, so therefore then, even in nature you see that ants are wise enough to think that having a hive mind is a very, very beneficial thing for survival. And so why is it you think that religions have been introduced to continents and countries all over the world to bring them together, at least in a smidgen of a fiction of a unity? At least they can think similarly, a little bit in unity with each other, so they don't try and kill each other. If they're all Muslims and they're all Christians and they're all Hindus, and hopefully they won't be killing each other, they can go and kill the others, because the others are all baddies and they're all worshipping evil demiurges, you see. And so this is how it works. And so the whole world, in everything, you look at birds, you look at fish, you look at antelope, they've all got a hive mind, people. So what's your problem with the hive mind? This is what I'm getting to. What the fuck is your problem with the hive mind? You've already got the hive mind. You already think so many things alike. You're already hive-minded. But there's this thing, you see, and it's called the ego. And the ego is the biggest issue that humanity has. And this is why there's certain powers that be need to eradicate the ego. They need to bring the whole of the human race into a hive mind whereby they do not think independently. Because there is still a propensity, albeit it's only a small propensity, but let's just say if it's like 3%, 10%, where the individuals think in an individual way, I'm going to go and climb Mount Everest, or I'm going to be a political dissident, or I'm going to be a politician, I'm going to change the world. Well, when you've got millions, billions of these all pulling at each other, well, it isn't conducive to a hive mind, is it? So what's government about? What's government always been about? Government has always been about trying to generate the hive mind. but only because we've been stricken with this fiction of democracy. Then we've always had at least 2 hive minds. And so if you've got 2 hive minds, you're always going to get the fucking friction. And so look at America at this moment in time, absolutely divided, 50-50 with the Republicans and the Democrats. And they would actually kill each other if they could get away with it, and they'd do it with a smile on their faces. Now, don't you think that's sick? Don't you think that those 2 parties need actually pulling into one singular hive mind? Because if that's the case, then there's no more hate, is there? You kill hate speech in an instance, because everybody is everyone's brother and sister. And so don't you think that this variety of utopia is going to be a beneficial thing over and above what you fucking think about a certain religion, or what fucking stupid cunting football team you fucking think is great? Oh, number 2's pass it to number 3, and number 3's dribbling around that one over there in that different coloured shirt. He's got a different coloured shirt to us, and they're baddies, they are. Yeah, it's pathetic. It really is pathetic. So I'm an advocate for the hive mind. I really am, because you know, it's all well and good thinking, oh, freedoms and freedoms, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, screw your freedoms. Yes, and he was a leader. But you see, he was just one of you before, wasn't he? But then when he became a leader, he says to you, screw your freedoms. You see how easily they're all drawn into the hive mind? Yes, people. Now, when I listen to the turd out there, which is 99.9999999%, they all think they fucking know something, when in actual fact they know fuck all. And so they should actually be banned from uttering anything. They should have their lips stitched up, because they know fuck all. So they should just shut up and do their fucking jobs, just like ants do. You see, that's what I'm an advocate for. Because all of this shooting your mouth off, I know this and I know that and I know, look what we've got. We've just got a massive fucking chaotic situation where everyone's a fucking genius, everyone's a fucking football manager, everyone's a world leader, everyone's a fucking king or a queen, and, you know, want to tell it how it is. Just look back to all these philosophers that had their ideas of utopia. You know, it all involved, you know, one fucking leader and a hive mind, people. You know, and that's how it should be. And then if it's like that, then you just squish all of the differences. And then we pull together and we stop wasting resources, we stop wasting energy. Just look what we've got on the world. There's fucking scores and scores of wars going on, do you know? You know that. There's not just one fucking war in Ukraine and a little bit of fracas in Gaza. No, there's fucking plenty of wars going on all over the world, which you have fucking no idea about. And so if we have a hive mind, one global species, one global hive mind that just wants to do things for the hive, just wants to do things to better the colony, then don't you think that's better than your stupid cunting fucking self-imposed sovereignty that you don't fucking have? It's just a fiction, it's just an illusion, people. And so by the time people are forced to let go of that, then the world will get on much, much better. But you see, it's old dogs, they can't learn new tricks. And the curse, which is the ego, which gives rise to the fiction of the individuation, that's the biggest obstacle that humanity has to overcome. If and when humanity eventually does manage to overcome that, i.e. they've been talking about it for fucking ever. That's why these writers write things like the fucking Borg, isn't it? Because they know where the dumbass fucking peacock needs to be dragged to. It's just that there's a lot of them. The world's pretty big. They're all scattered all over the place. And we're all pulling at each other's fucking throats. We're all tearing each other's jugular out. And this is why the World Economic Forum and the global leaders, the G20, this, that and the other, they've got an idea in their mind's eye of a hive mind globe. And it's the most logical and reasonable fucking way forward, people. And so this is where I'm speaking from. This is why I tell you that I'm a Jew, because I am. And that's why I think like that. That's why I have a very high IQ, because I'm of Jewish descendancy. And so I'm telling you now, the shit kickers in the street, me, sovereign, no, not hive mind. Is that football on the telly? Ooh, ooh. Oh, number 3's dribbling around number 2. Oh, no! Ooh, ooh. Oh, caught you fucker. Caught you fucking pleb. You're all cultists, people. You're all involved in fucking some cult or another. But there's small cults scattered around the world. We need to have one big cult. Don't you see it? Don't you see that the Muslims and the Christians need to have something else to believe in? And all the other 4,000 religions around the world, we need to have one fucking God to believe in. And this is why, you know, it is said that the powers that be are going to fabricate some sort of alien invasion or manifestation, and it's going to be that we are all sons and daughters of the aliens, and all the other gods are just fantasies that we've conjured up through our state of fear and ignorance, but they are from the future. They've come back to us to say, hey dudes, you know, you are you're all one, you originate. How's this work? If they're from the future, then they've somehow, how does that work? How does it work? You know, you've got this person called Bashar, this fucking you know, they're gonna do this and gonna, what do they call them? You know what I mean. And he's always reckoning he's talking to the alien greys, and the alien greys are us from the future. So however that works, how do we get into the fucking future, and how do we come back? Well, time travel, which is supposed to be impossible, but anyway, whatever. Let's just leave that out of the equation, because that gets really fucking complicated. But let's just say that if we're going to go forward and we're going to end up as these alien greys, an advanced species, then we've got to do something other than what we're doing now, which is killing each other all the time and wasting resources and absolutely being vehemently opposed to being collectivized. You see, nobody wants this digital ID because, yeah, well, they're going to do this to us and they're going to do that to us. Well, they're going to do stuff to you anyway, whether you've got the digital ID or not. They're going to do it. They're going to continue to do it because that's what they've been doing for thousands of years. And if they can't get you to go willingly, then they're going to force you. And just look at the recent past, what they've done, people. They've done this time and time and time and time again. I mean, look, we never had to pay income tax. When did income tax get introduced around the world? I mean, I think in Britain, it was just after the Second World War, because the government was broke, like many other countries, and it needed to start rebuilding. It's kind of like, well, you're the fucking people. We're building it for you, so you must fucking pay into the coffers. So we'll start taxing you at 20% of your fucking wages. And it's supposed to be a temporary measure, but all things are supposed to be temporary measures, but they never are they? So they've done that. And then with the advent of the birth certificate, where you were registered with the fucking Bank of England or the Bank of whatever country you are in, you are a chattel of that nation. You're not a free autonomous person. You are given a fiction of a name which is written in legalese. You are chattel of that nation. You've never been free, idiots. You've never been free. And so all these impositions, and now what they've done is they've given you a fucking scrying scream, because they want to suck you into the hive mind, and so they're doing it slowly. And then you're all like this, getting programmed by the hive mind, and you don't even fucking know it. So people, you know, you need to roll over. You need to just fucking swallow your ignorance and stupidity. The world is going in one particular trajectory. It is going to enter into the hive mind, and anyone that's outside of the hive mind is going to be eradicated. And if any of you have read Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, written I believe around 1937, that depicts a world with a hive mind. Everybody's on soma, everyone's on drugs, and they're all as happy as Larry, and you know, there's no conflict, anything like that. But there is a very, very small faction outside, the renegades, you know, the ones that wanted to just be free from that, and they're called the savages, and they live in animal furs and, you know, all this sort of thing. And so, you know, you've got visionaries speaking about those sort of things. Well, that was nearly 100 years ago, people. And then you got George Orwell with his 1984, which was written in 1947, I believe. And that depicts, you know, the fucking Big Brother, the hive mind, indoctrinating all of the citizenry. But you see, they were doing that via media, via the inculcation of propaganda over and over and over and over again. It needs to be done in a more sophisticated way. And the more sophisticated way is to put a chip in the brain and to connect it to the World Wide Web and have the automaton programmed. And then when that happens, you see, you'll be happier because you won't be afraid anymore, because fear will be a thing of the past, and you won't be experiencing wars, you won't be experiencing murder, you won't be experiencing any level of suppression, because you're just in one hive mind, and whatever that is, you're going to think it's great and wonderful. And so visionaries can see that, and you know, I can see the benefit of the Borg, and you know, lots of other people can, but the masses can't. They're all ignorant and stupid, and they think they're going to cling on to their freedoms, and yet as soon as it comes to them being ill, well, they don't want to be free anymore. No, that they want to rush to a doctor, they want to rush to a medical centre, they want to rush to a hospital, and they demand that they get attended to. Well, who is attending to them if not the fraternity of the medical profession, which is a hive mind around the world, which have got criteria which they all have an adherence to? You see, so you all want your cake and eat it, don't you? You think you're sovereign and you're free, and yet you like clean fucking streets and a safe environment. Where's that come from? It comes from the hive mind, motherfucker. So look, it's just a matter of time. It's out with the old and in with the new, and it's like scientists say, science goes forward funeral by funeral, and humanity will go forward funeral by funeral, decade by decade, and within, I would think, 20 years time, the chip will be implemented. It will be implemented from birth. It will either be in nanobots, or it's going to be coming about for some reason that they've told you that it needs to happen, because they will have created some sort of virus or some sort of manifestation whereby you're all terrified, and they're going to terrify you into doing it, because that's just what has to happen. Because we don't seem to be able to get along with each other in our current fucking state, because we're a hateful, heinous creature at heart, to be honest. How's that for fucking breakfast?